Next in our program, we take a look at the global campaign that's liberating the leader in everyone. The Leadership Challenge is the book and vision of leadership created by Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner. Together, they've been studying leaders for more than 30 years, researching leadership, conducting leadership development seminars, and serving as leaders themselves in various capacities. In the process, the Leadership Challenge model has helped millions of leaders gain clarity in their vision and purpose. Jim and Barry join us on the program now to tell us more. Jim, welcome.
Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here.
And Barry, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Barry, let's start here. What is the Leadership Challenge?
The Leadership Challenge is all about how leaders mobilize others to want to get extraordinary things done in organizations. It's about the practices that leaders use to transform values into actions, visions into realities, obstacles into innovations, and risks into rewards. In our book, we demonstrate what it takes to step up and provide leadership.
Now, Jim, can you speak to how the Leadership Challenge was developed?
The Leadership Challenge has its origins in a global research project that Barry and I initiated at the Levy School of Business at Santa Clara University. We wanted to know what leaders did when they were at their personal best. That is, during those times when, in their own perception, they set their individual leadership standards of excellence. And after analyzing thousands of cases, we found that when leaders are performing at their personal best, they engage in the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. They model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. Each individual leader is unique, but there are shared patterns to exemplary leadership practices, and those practices can be learned.
Barry, you believe that everyone is born with the potential to be a leader. Tell us more about that.
As Jim said, the 5 practices of exemplary leadership are not the private property of the people we studied, nor do they belong to a few select shining stars. Leadership's not about personality, it's all about behavior. And the 5 practices are available to anyone who accepts the Leadership Challenge. And this is the challenge of taking people and organizations to places they've never been before and doing something that has never been done before. This is the challenge of moving beyond the ordinary to the extraordinary. And we found that in the best organizations, everyone, regardless of title or position or place, is encouraged to act like a leader. That's because in these places, people don't just believe that everyone can make a difference. They act in ways to develop and grow people's talents, including their leadership.
Finally, Jim, I mentioned earlier that the Leadership Challenge model has helped countless people so far. What are some of the ways that it empowers leaders?
Whether a leader is exemplary or not is always determined by the constituents. Therefore, in order to answer the question, we really have to ask the constituents, and that's exactly what Barry and I did. After analyzing responses from more than 2 million people around the world, the evidence is very clear. The 5 practices make a profoundly positive difference in people's commitment, levels of engagement, and performance at work. One example, our research clearly shows that credibility is the foundation of leadership. We also know that the most effective leaders in our studies are significantly more credible and believable than the least effective leaders. Exemplary leaders are more empowered because they are much more likely to be believable to their constituents. And all these outcomes empower leaders. But even more importantly, the 5 practices empower the constituents to make extraordinary things happen. When people are led by exemplary leaders, they become leaders themselves.
Well, this has been very eye-opening. Jim, Barry, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
That was Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner, authors of The Leadership Challenge. You'll find more information at leadershipchallenge.com.